So if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, this NFC Championship game isn't enticing at all. That's because it's the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles battling it out for a ticket to Super Bowl 49, and you're sitting there thinking, who the heck should I root for? Well, I'm here to tell you the answer is pretty clear. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Mauricio Rodriguez here at A to Z Sports Dallas. It is Hot Take Friday, presented to you by Dave's Hot Chicken. And we're going to get into that in a bit. But first, some context. It's the NFC Championship game, and it's two NFC East division rivals in there. If you're a Cowboys fan, you got to be a little bit upset. The Commanders are back in a big game for the first time since 1991, which makes the Cowboys the last team in the conference to have made it back to that championship game on the NFC side of things. And then the Eagles, you look at them and you're like, again, they're in this stage. They made the Super Bowl back in 2017 when Carson Wentz was playing quarterback, and then they had to rely on Nick Foles to lift up the Lombardi trophy. Then there was the Eagles-Chiefs championship game when Jalen Hurts had the best game of his career. And now with different coordinators, with Saquon Barkley, they're back one game away from making a third Super Bowl appearance since the 2017 season. And meanwhile, while all of that is happening, the Cowboys are talking about hiring Brian Schottenheimer. They interviewed 4 candidates. People are talking about, hey, Jason Witten might eventually replace whoever is named head coach in 2025. Yeah, this is not fun if you're a Cowboys fan. With all that being said, I do believe there's a clear team you should be rooting for on this big game. And all of this leads us to the Dave's Hot Take, presented to you by Dave's Hot Chicken, and this is mine. I think Cowboys fans should be rooting hard for the Washington Commanders. And there are multiple reasons why. Number one is the fact that if you're against hiring Brian Schottenheimer, I believe the best shot at that not happening is the Cowboys convincing themselves that Kellen Moore can still happen for them. He's the only candidate that they formally interviewed that seems to be a legit choice for the job. Leslie Frazier, Robert Saleh, I'm not sure are in that tier. So if you're the Cowboys and something went wrong on that meeting that lasted well under 3 hours reportedly, which is the maximum allowed by the NFL for coaches in playoff teams, then Kellen Moore is your best hope at not having Brian Schottenheimer as head coach. And if the Eagles advance to the Super Bowl, the Cowboys are not going to be able to talk to Kellen Moore for another 2 weeks. The Senior Bowl is right around the corner. Shrine Bowl is this weekend. And you got to be there if you're the Cowboys thinking, well, I've got to hire somebody. And I know Kellen Moore is not going to make fans go crazy, but I think from the Cowboys fans that I've talked to, that I've seen on social media, most people prefer Kellen Moore over Schottenheimer. Now, you might say, hey, what about Cliff Kingsbury? If the Commanders are eliminated, maybe they can talk to Cliff Kingsbury. And why I would be intrigued about that possibility, James Slater from NFL Network did report he is not in the mix for the Cowboys job. So there's that. Now, I've got one more reason why Cowboys fans should be rooting for the Commanders, but that is a hot take presented to you by Dave's Hot Chicken. If you love America's team, you will love America's chicken. Dave's Hot Chicken has juicy hot chicken and delicious sides, including their crinkle-cut fries and mac and cheese. Be sure to give it a try and visit their McKinney, Plano, and Waco locations today. And there you go. The other reason why I think Cowboys fans should be rooting for the Commanders instead of the Eagles is I don't know that the Eagles are going to change the way that this front office thinks. I don't think that they will feel any urgency if the Eagles make it to the Super Bowl once again. But maybe if we want to be optimistic, and it would take some optimism from Cowboys fans to believe this, but maybe the Commanders in the Super Bowl could be enough for the Jones family looking at each other and being like, we're messing this up, aren't we? How are they already here? And we haven't been here for almost 30 years. Hey, maybe one can hope. But for now, we can just wait until the Cowboys announce their next head coach. Schottenheimer is expected to be the guy, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.